Podcast. We are two sisters in fiber coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada on a Sunday, so Jocelyn gets to go to Diana's house this time. Well, it's true.
It's crazy pants.
Crazy pants. The daylight's out. I can get out of my house. We have officially reached 2 years.
Woo! Happy
Yes.
birthday to us. Happy birthday, podcast.
Happy birthday, podcast. Happy birthday, Jocelyn. Happy birthday, Diana. All the birthdays.
Yes.
Clustered.
It's the podcast's second birthday. Jocelyn's not second birthday.
I am definitely older than 2.
Really?
Just a smidge.
Tomorrow is my also not second birthday.
Yeah, you were also older than 2. Yeah, that works. All clustered together. So all the birthdays. All the birthdays. Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus being it's my actual birthday today. We're recording Sunday, March the 10th, so I brought very fancy tea,
Oh, it's so good.
which is really nice. So, shall we dive in?
Yeah, we can start with what lovely tea we're drinking in our fancy cups.
Sure.
In our giant mugs. Jocelyn brought over some Kenyan?
Yep.
Kenyan Earl Grey from
Yep.
the Amsterdam Tea Room. And I have a proper, very nice milk frothing machine as a wedding present. No, whatever, one of those wedding-y presents.
Was it a shower present?
That's the word. I'm
Bridal
looking
shower.
for.
Yeah, it was one of your bridal shower presents.
Anyway, so I've got like a proper milk frother, like that they use at David's Tea. So we got some whipping cream and made tea lattes with Kenyan Earl Grey.
So this is the right call.
So good. So rich. It's wonderful.
Yeah. It's not like I made the wrong call. I made the right call. Also, Amsterdam Tea Room tea. Really good.
Also, yes, all of it's good. If you live in the Winnipeg area, you should definitely go there. Also, if you want to try really interesting tea cocktails, definitely go there. They serve my favorite old-fashioned in the whole city. I'm pretty sure it's not a proper old-fashioned at all whatsoever. But they do it with lapsang infused sugar, so it's got this wonderful smokiness. So good. But this is also so good.
I don't drink, so...
Fair enough.
Dude, I had to ask you what a mimosa was. I don't know.
It's that classy drink that, I don't know, it's apparently a classy drink. It's champagne and orange juice.
Sure.
Excuse me, a classy brunch drink.
I thought a classy brunch drink was a cup of coffee, but what do I know?
No, it's like a normal brunch drink. If you want to be like fancy,
You get a fancy coffee.
but like really fancy.
You get a fancy coffee with booze in it?
Well, this is but booze and orange juice. Because orange juice is also a standard breakfast lunch drink.
It is. Well,
But then
orange
you
juice
put-
is just a standard juice.
But then you put alcohol in it.
Alright. That's the part I don't think I get.
I've had mimosas, I think, twice in my life.
Yeah?
Once was on a last-minute booked first-class flight home from the UK
that's right,
because
I
I missed
remember
my
that.
flight, and the only seat left to get me home the same day was in first class. Cost me like 2 months' salary, but oh my goodness, this memory will stick with me forever. Can I get you a mimosa, Miss Carrier? Is there anything I can do to make your flight better, Miss Carrier? God, it was the best. It was almost worth the absurd price tag. But then the other time was...
I don't think it's an absurd price tag. I'm saving so that I can just fly first class to Europe.
It was the day before the day of my wedding. I think somewhere around the day of my wedding, I had a mimosa with breakfast.
Sure.
I don't remember which day.
I couldn't tell you.
Neither can I apparently, and I was there. Anyway, mimosa's good. This tea, also good. What cluster am I on?
I don't know.
That cluster.
Shall we discuss some cool threads and then get into our knitting?
Yeah. I am currently wearing no cool threads. The Exploration Station got worn today as a statement piece along with a very black-gray wardrobe. I'm really loving having a black and gray wardrobe so I can have a statement shawl and everybody's like, ooh, statement shawl. And yeah. So Exploration Station. And oh yeah, the Rivers wrap is my
Go-to scarf?
it's my go-to scarf. It's such my go-to scarf that I wore it to winter camp a couple weeks ago. and it still smells like campfire and it's delicious. It also still has plant life stuck in it from when I had to tramp through the brush to go to the outhouse. That was not fun.
I remember that from when we were at sushi. You were like, I still have nature on here. I'm like, what are you talking?
Got these big like brambly burr things, but they're like, it's winter so they're dry, right? So I tried to pick them out and they just crumble into a million more.
Yes.
I've been picking those things out for 2 weeks. Still have some in the furry hood of my parka. Like, I still smell like campfire and I'm still covered in nature 2 weeks later. Like, I just can't get rid of it. It's crazy. What have you been wearing?
It's like, wow, my answer nowhere near as dramatic as yours. Jeez. I wore the Tracy shawl by Joji Locatelli out for our sushi dinner birthday party last night. Because, if I'm honest, I let somebody else pick which shawl I was wearing that day. Red picked for me. I was like, quick, pick a shawl.
Pick a shawl, any shawl.
I don't want to make the decision today. Otherwise, I'm wearing my Goldfish Memories to death because I really love that shawl. And it looks really good with my white winter coat.
Looks really good with everything, let's be honest.
It's true, it really does. So, I've been wearing that a lot. And Goldfish Memories is by Casablanca. I really got to make some of her other shawls. This just turned out so well. But that's it. Well, your mittens, but that's normal winter stuff.
That brings us to what we're working on. What are we working on today? I'll
How
start
many
with...
projects do you have?
I have 3.
We have the same number?
We have the same number.
Who
Okay,
are
I'm going
you?
to start with the disappointing one.
Oh, geez. Because it's a story.
Yeah. So, you know how I usually work on socks while we're recording?
Yep.
I always have socks on the go.
There's video evidence of it.
Yeah. I've been working on... Recently I was working on the second sock, excuse me, to the pair that I started like last spring, and then Jocelyn distracted me with Midnight Cravings yarn.
No such thing. You are responsible for your own impulse control problems.
You know what? You wave Midnight Cravings in front of my face and say, finish your sock! And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm knitting that.
Not my fault. You made that decision all on your
Yeah,
own.
I did. Anyway, so these socks, I thought I had enough of the yarn left to make at least a pair of short socks. Or like, I was hoping for a full pair of socks. Was not. So they were going to be short socks. Okay, well that wasn't going to work either. Or short socks and like, okay, well maybe I can use like some contrasting yarn because I was doing a cut and afterthought heel. So the end result was that I had knit off one sock onto the other sock to make them the same height, re-knit the cuff on one, and I still didn't have enough yarn for the heel, so I was going to use some of the leftover super duper purple Midnight Cravings, which is not even the same thickness really, never mind same texture or anything else. So I finally decided I'm freaking fed up with these stupid socks that I actually hate now, and I got angry at them and I ripped them all out. That's it. It's gone now. This is one of like 6 balls because cut in afterthought heel plus all the other patchwork I did, so this is the largest ball.
And the moral of the story is...
Moral of the story is, I'm going to go with don't get attached to your knitting. Also have a yarn scale so you can see if you actually have 50 grams of yarn to finish a pair of socks.
Seems wise.
The way you want to.
Seems wise.
So, I've learned. And this purple stripy yarn might become another sockhead slouch.
Once you're done being angry at it?
I'm not even all that angry at it. I'm mostly just annoyed that I kept putting more time and effort into it and knowing that it probably wasn't going to work out. So if you hate it at row 10, you're still going to hate it when it's done. So just fix it when there's less to fix.
What I really need to do is start cutting clips where you're doing this sage advice to yourself to play back at you. When you
Do as
make
I say,
this-
not as I do.
Yeah. Because eventually this conversation will come up again.
Yeah, so the largest ball I have is, I don't know.
Why don't you measure ball?
Oh, I suppose I could do that, couldn't I? They are wool. That's a smart idea, I like that. This is the largest ball and it's like ping pong sized.
Oh yeah, definitely ping pong sized.
And I have a whole bunch of smaller ones, bits and bobs, so yeah, I think
Magic ball that.
magic ball that and make a hat or something, sockhead slouch, something of that ilk. So, once more, for the last time for hopefully a little while, this is online Super Sock. in the... I
Something
have it
purple?
I have it listed on my project page as forest color, but I'm pretty sure that's the green self-striping, and I think I wrote it down wrong, but I've long since lost the ball band. So it's Online Super Sock in the purple self-striping colors.
Yeah, because it's definitely not green.
It's definitely not green, and forest does not say purple to me, so I don't know.
Greens and browns. Forest
Yeah.
is definitely greens and browns.
Yeah, so I had some green, I still have green stripey of this kind of yarn. I had brown, I think I have some leftovers of that from some socks I made. And yeah, so there's my sad story. So I worked on my socks, and now my socks are no more. So that's my story.
And you're sticking to it?
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, I rip things all the time, but I don't make quite such a dramaticness about it.
It's just because I've been working on these stupid things for almost a year.
It's true, you really have.
It's just like, could I not have done this a year ago?
No, absolutely not.
No. So, eh.
Alright, so I am working on a test knit. I was asking questions about the pattern. And the designer's like, well, I'll just send you a copy and you can just work it up and tell us if the numbers work right. So I am not, I did not sign up to get it done before the pattern is released.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get as much of it done before the pattern is released because I feel like I should. And I really want to have this garment in my hot little hands. But I am working on the Shrug Again by Cozy Up Designs. Which is great. We've met the sisters. I talk to them all the time. Well, we say we talk. Me and Jamie talk all the time. Just totally fine.
If somebody's talking to you on social media, it's probably not me. If somebody's talking to you on email, it's probably me.
Yeah. Yes.
If it has an emoji in it, guaranteed it's me.
Oh yes, I do not emoji. I don't, because I can't see them. I don't do it.
Fair enough. And I love emojis.
Yeah.
Emojis everywhere.
All the time.
You should see my Slack messages. They're
Oh,
the
Lord.
worst. No, actually, no.
You
There are people way
pictogramming it?
worse. There are people way worse. People older than me that use a shit ton more emojis than I do.
Oh Lord, no thank you. Nope, that's good.
Fantastic, I love it.
I have a wide and diverse vocabulary. I shall use it.
But pictures, pictograms.
Yeah, I'm not
GIFs.
I'm not ancient Egyptian or Sumerian.
You know what?
I'm good.
But maybe you should be.
No, I really don't want to be.
Sorry, I'm off track again. You're knitting a thing.
We go for one birthday brunch. Her brain just goes out the window.
You know what? It's this or I'm dead, so
What
take
are
your
the
pick.
Take my pick. Alright, so it is a cotton shrug that they have designed to work with Pima Cotton that they worked in conjunction with Penny from Creek Garden Crafts. Penny does an amazing cotton. I'm doing mine out of the Premier Cotton, which I found at Michael's, in the colorway Silver.
It's so silver, it's beautiful.
It is a beautiful light gray silver color. It is not in your face sparkly, which I can enjoy for a garment.
It has a sheen to it.
It does have a sheen to it. Like it's
very
definitely
nice.
got a nice.
Classy silver.
Yeah, it's very classic kind of. It reminds me of like old Hollywood silver.
Ooh.
That's what I think when I'm working on
Yes.
this. So as I talk here, trying to finish my last little section.
Ramble.
Ramble.
Oh, it's time fill.
Not even so much that. But so far I'm working on the increases across the back. I have some serious one-by-one ribbing to do at some point, which I'm not looking forward to because I don't like ribbing, but I really want the shrug, so I know there's ribbing, so I'm torn. I am not the fastest test knitter. I don't knit the smallest size. I am good and I can log a lot of hours, but I know people who knit a lot faster than I do, so I am beyond appreciative that the ladies sent this for me to have because I would have bought the pattern. I think I own all of their other patterns. I think there's like 2 that I don't own from them because they weren't really my alley. Otherwise, I think I own all the patterns they've released.
Have you said who the designer is yet?
Yeah, Cozy
Okay.
Up Knits.
Right, yes.
So there's not really a ton to show. I literally just have a couple of inches of stockinette. You guys, it's really not that interesting to look at. I am doing it
But the
on.
yarn's pretty.
The yarn is very pretty. I'm doing it on a 3.5mm needle. They did recommend a 3mm needle. I got gauge at 3.5, which tells you how tight my knitting is. Super tight. But you can see my very beautiful, very even tension stockinette going on here.
Ooh. It's so pretty.
So pretty. It is
Shiny.
half cotton, half acrylic, so I am not going to see a lot of plumping or growth, which works just fine for me. So I am very excited with it, and I was looking at the pearl side, as you can see, it's just as nice as the stockinette side. And it rolls up like crazy, because it's just straight stockinette right now. Yeah, because the ribbon goes all the way around the bottom, around the top, and right now I'm making the body piece and the shoulders, before the split for the shoulders. Something like a bazillion ribbing stitches. A bazillion.
A bazillion.
That's my accurate count.
Sounds
It is
super scientific.
It is super scientific. It is living in my trick or treat bag. By the people, I always forget that I feel like a jerk.
Oh, so into knitting.
Thank you.
So as in sewing.
Yeah, because it was a lovely booth and they were wonderful women.
Yes.
Just the worst, because I can never remember their company name. That's the first one I've been working on. Did you want to go get?
Sure. Let me just lock that stitch down.
I'm going
working
to
on a
color in
different
my
thing.
square.
Okay, what is your square system? Because I actually don't understand your square
Oh,
system.
you don't actually understand my square
No,
system?
talk about your square system.
Okay,
I want to
so-
learn.
You know how you got repeats you gotta do in a pattern?
Mm-hmm.
So I draw out squares in groups of 10 for each repeat of every pattern if I have a massive pattern repeat. So I need to do 38 repeats of stockinette before I split for my shoulders.
Ah.
So rather than having to track my stitches every freaking row, which, oh my word, that would be annoying, I can go in, do half of it, so do my first 24 rows, and then I can double check my stitch count at 24 rows mathematically, and I should have half of what I need to finish.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it also means I can pick it up, put it down, walk away, and I don't have to go, what row am I on? And count my stitches. I have little colored boxes that tell me how many repeats I've done.
Okay, I usually just use tally marks for that, but the squares are cuter.
They are, I find they're a bit easier to do, and they're, like if I'm out at knit night,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm out doing other things, it does a lot of the brain thinking for me, so I don't have to.
So sort of check boxes, but
Yeah, check
coloring them in.
boxes. I just
Okay.
color them in rather than checking them off. It's
Okay.
also very satisfying to color in a box.
I can see that.
It's like
Alright.
checking off things on your to-do list. This is really satisfying.
I realized that none of my projects this week are living in cute bags except for the socks that I frogged, but that's not living in this bag anymore.
'Cause you brought
So, in my Kit and Ace shopping bag,
Oh, jeez.
it was
Maybe
the
just some
thing.
proper project bags.
I have proper project bags. I even have better than shopping bags to put stuff in. This was just. Kit and Ace makes really nice bags. Kit and Ace makes really expensive Canadian designed clothing.
I had no idea. I didn't go with you.
Anyway, this is a Kit and Ace shirt I'm wearing. It's super plain but so friggin' comfy, and it's really expensive. So you get really nice shopping bags when you go. The first time I went in, I spent so much money. I got one of their big shopping bags, and it is a felted wool bag. It holds like my sock blockers and stuff now.
You were
It is a nice bag.
Same.
Yeah.
All I know is I lied down for a nap when we got to Vancouver because I was really tired and the landing was not fun for me.
Yeah.
And you went out, you came back, and you shopped enough to get a fancy bag. And I was like, yep,
Yeah.
I'm not sure Mr. Diana's going to let you loose in Vancouver without adult supervision anymore.
There's not too many clothing stores where I can put on basically anything and go, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
I can at that store.
Because we still had a yarn festival to do still.
I know. I held back.
Jeez.
Anyway, in this bag, after all that, I worked on, again, finally the hat for the podcast anniversary did along.
You got what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. So this is the Katie hat by Cozy Up Knits, because that's the designer we chose. And you can see from my little progress keeper, I made some progress, like a whole 1.5 inches.
On worsted.
DK.
I'm still calling shade.
Okay, you know what? While I was working on this, we went to Red's house for knit club, which is where I was working on this, and she's got
Bunnies.
like a petting zoo.
She's got a lot of bunnies.
She's got 2 cats, 4 bunnies, and assorted cold-blooded things.
I think
So I
it's
was
2
very-
snakes and 2 geckos.
I was very distracted, is where I'm going with
You never
this.
see the snake or the geckos.
I managed to get a picture of the snake.
Oh, good.
Anyway, I was distracted, because bunnies were all up in my business, the cats were all up in my hair business, and it was really funny, the cats leapt up on the chair behind me, and they're really small, so I didn't notice right away until I suddenly had cat whiskers in my ear because he was licking my head. where I guess she was licking my head. I'm like, whoa! Unexpected. And it really tickled.
There's a thing that happens when you're not a pet owner and you go to a person's house who they are a pet owner. You find the pets fascinating, but you can immediately tell pet owners versus not pet owners when you're in other people's houses. It didn't even register that the pets were there. I am a pet owner. I would occasionally go, oh, something's sniffing my feet, whatever, and move on.
I used to have a cat, and he would sit up on like the couch behind me, and I missed that. I was really happy to have a cat in my ear, as weird as that sounds.
No, sounds perfectly normal to me.
Anyway,
It's the same when you
it
come
was very
over.
enjoyable,
Finn
and I was
was
very
all up-
distracted.
All up in your business as soon as you get over.
I know, and I'm actually totally okay with that.
Delays everything we do.
It's wonderful. She's adorable.
She's
I'm-
determined she will get in that camera bag one of these days. You will forget
Nope.
to zip it up.
Nope. Nope. I am not letting the cat in the $2,000 bag of camera equipment. Anyway, I was talking about this hat.
Uh-huh.
So I hacked this pattern in several ways. It was supposed to be a one-color faux brioche brim. It's a two-color proper brioche brim.
Proper brioche brim?
Well, not full. It's not unfaux then.
It's just a brioche brim,
Okay.
as opposed to a
Well-
faux brioche brim.
It's non-faux brioche. It's true brioche.
It's just brioche.
Okay, it's brioche.
Stop adding extra words!
No, I need to sound fancy and pompous and.
Alright. Go with your upper crust extra wordage there, dear.
Heck yeah. So this is done in two colors. The main color, which is a gray with a green mousy speckle, is Old Smoky. I think I just. Yeah. Wow. I've said this how many times? Old Smoky, and there's an orange and yellow with black speckle, and that is For the Love of Hugo. Oh, it looks less onion shaped now. And these are both from Noble Ruby Designs out in Niverville. Anyway, this is not a difficult pattern. I just, for some reason, when I'm doing this magic loop, there's something about how the pattern works just at the start of the round. I never have an issue at like the middle of the round magic loopy part. It's always the beginning, end of the round magic loopy part. There's something about it that I just like.
You're convinced you're
I'm
off.
convinced I'm wrong, even if I'm not wrong. I hadn't worked on this for so long because I was so sure that I was wrong.
Nope. She's not wrong.
And I wasn't wrong. It was perfectly fine.
Yep.
I
Just being crazy.
Anyway, totally gonna get this done for the end of the month. Fingers crossed, maybe.
So much shade.
I'm like half done.
So much shade.
I know.
I am so prepared with all finger pointing.
I know. I'm gonna put it on though because it fits really well and it looks really cute. Well, it will when it doesn't have. It will look cute when it doesn't have needles in it,
It'll look very good when it's done.
and it fits so well. I'm really happy with
It'll be
it.
even better if it's done in time for you to take to Europe.
It'll be really good if it's done in time to actually wear before it's warm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Serve me, I'll finish it, and then the next day the snow will all melt.
Well, then I suggest you hurry up and finish it since you want all the snow to melt.
This is true.
Like, I don't know how else to phrase that for you. You're the one who wants the snow to melt, so I suppose you should hurry up and finish it.
Oh, sorry, I should drink more water or something. I'm parched.
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 Shall I talk about my blanket? Alright. It's time for the super smexy skip the dishes canvas bag.
Love us some swag bags for project bags.
This is really good for like a lap blanket size project bag, which I don't actually have a project bag that's a good size for it, so that works really well for me. Will I ever use this bag again for anything else? Probably not. But if I happen to run across a scrap crochet blanket pattern that I want to make, maybe. Who knows? So I've got several balls of yarn lemon in this bag, because it is big enough to hold several balls of
I like those colors.
acrylic yarn and one non-acrylic. And I am making a blanket based off of a pattern from the Crochet Crowd on a whatever size hook that is.
It says it's an H, an
I-
8, or a 5 millimeter.
Thank you. I was like,
Whatever
I-
size you like.
I only function in millimeters. So it's a 5 millimeter hook, and it is a rectangular. It's technically supposed to be a baby blanket. I will be making it larger than the 15 row repeat because I don't make baby blankets. So it is called the Lemon Peel Baby Blanket. So I'm going to call mine obviously the Lemon Peel Blanket. and it's got a cute little pattern that makes this wonderful little bump texture. And it's really easy to do. It's a 2-row repeat, so I'm going to continue it in the colors that I have on here already, which is a ivory cream, and then like a sort of mossy green, and then I got a couple of shades of blue. It's not the only way to describe those blues, because one's like a really rich deep blue, and then one's just like a nice summer ocean blue. But they work really well together. So I'm literally randomly striping them, and I'm going around doing my 2-row repeat, and I work on this in bed before I go to sleep. If Phaedra's decided it's time for bed and I'm not tired yet, or when I get up in the morning, if I don't want to get out of bed right away, I'll prop up my pillows and just listen to the radio morning programs. Because I am that old person who gets up at 6 in the morning and listens to the CBC radio morning
While
program.
crocheting a baby blanket in
While
bed.
crocheting a baby blanket in bed.
Sorry, are you
Just
like
short
80
of-
now? Like-
Yeah, drinking tea. I'm short a nightcap, you guys. It's quiet. Everybody's kind of sleeping or just had breakfast if they're a quadruped, and I can crochet in peace. So I do, and it's how I wake up. It's nice. I don't have to rush anything. I don't know. I don't know why more people don't get up early. I hear all the excuses, whatever. I still have a far more relaxed morning and get more done in a day than most people I know, so it's fine.
It's because people don't want to do the things that they have to do.
I just get them done when they're out of the way.
I know.
So I'm
Easier said
excited.
than done.
It really is. I'm excited for this when it's finished. I'm hoping I can get it to a big enough size that I can have it as a blanket for the couch.
Oh, that'll be nice.
So I think that will look really, really well and work really well. So that's good. And hopefully my mother doesn't steal it because these are her colors.
Oh, you know that's gone.
It just occurred to me right now. My mom wears blues, greens, and beiges.
And it's acrylic.
Red muffin.
Yeah, that blanket's going away.
Well, maybe she'll let me keep it and finish it for Stash Dash, and then she can have it then. We'll see how that goes.
No, your blanket's going away.
It's toast.
You know how this works.
Guys,
You don't
I'm
get to
gonna
keep that
start
blanket.
A fall-colored one in the summer. She doesn't take oranges or reds. So beginning to make my pattern for my wardrobe color choices very apparent.
Uh-huh.
Why do you always wear bright colors, Jocelyn? Because my mom won't take those. So that's a putter project. I want to get it done during Stash Dash because it'd be great for Stash Dash goals, but it's a great pick up and put down because it's so easy to tell where you are on the pattern repeat. It's a free pattern, you guys. It's like 1 row, you treble crochet and then single crochet. Repeat to your corner. Next row, in the single crochets, you double crochets. In the treble crochets, you single crochets. Go around. And your corner stitch is always a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet.
Well, that
And the
sounds
chain 2 space.
downright simple.
It is wonderfully no thinky, listen to the radio, listen to audiobooks, just sit down and putter through a pattern. And it's not, the rows aren't massive yet because I haven't actually made it that big yet. Still quite tiny. So it works beautifully for me. So I don't know if it will travel ever back to Diana's house because once it gets to kind of a bulky size, I'll end up leaving it at home. But until it's at massive bulky size, it'll go with me places. So that's it for the blanket.
All right. Well, I will see your blankets and also talk about a blanket. Since I fogged the sock
Okay.
that I normally work on, because normally I work on a pair of vanilla socks while I record, I needed something to do. And the simplest thing that I have in my pile of unfinished things is a blanket. So,
Was this
hey,
the one you were going to finish for before the wedding?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So this is a variation on a corner to corner double crochet blanket. The variation is that the double crochet clusters, there's a little bit of extra chaining that makes them diagonal, so it looks slightly different.
Looks good.
Yeah.
I likes it.
And it's in striping patterns, so I've got it in like a royal red. What kind of red would you call that?
Not too bad. I thought I might go with like a sort of almost a cranberry burgundy red.
Yeah. And then a white, which is like a slightly creamy off white.
It's definitely not a winter white. It's definitely a
Yeah,
creamy
it's
white.
a warmer white.
Yeah.
Black and gold.
Yeah, black is black. I can.
It's technically a heathered black. This is in Lion Brand Heartland. Do they have color names? The black is Black Canyon, because apparently it's not
Heartland.
totally black. The white is Acadia.
the Black Canyon in the Heartland colorway line makes complete sense.
The red is Redwood.
Yeah, so far these names all make sense given the line that they're in, yeah.
And the gold is Yellowstone.
Then yeah, no, totally.
Anyway, these colors are beautiful. They're not one of them I think is quite a flat color. They're all just ever so slightly variegated with, anyway, it just adds
Tonal?
a tiny bit of texture. Tonal, there we go, that's what I
right.
want. Particularly the gold, it's got like just a tiny bit of green in it.
It's
If
a
you look
really-
super duper close.
Yeah, like it's,
But, like,
and
it's
I like
gold.
the way the clusters are coming out together.
So, and
It's
these
good.
colors were chosen based on the family crest that is not yet an official thing that Mr. Diana came up with and has not yet gotten officially registered,
That's okay.
which is where the color inspiration came from.
So it looked really good on the back
It's
of your castle.
expensive.
It is very expensive, he says. He's in the corner painting right now. It is very expensive. It's like, what, $1,000 to get it registered?
Sweet.
Yeah, just to apply.
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Yeah. To get a house coat of arms, a family coat of arms,
Rammed.
is $1,000 just to apply.
That is.
Just to submit the paperwork.
That is.
I believe that includes paying for the artist to hand draw the coat of arms on the parchment
I
when
mean-
you're done, though. Assuming it gets approved.
That's fair. And I'm gonna go with very bougie. I mean, do it. I'm totally game for you guys. I have a family coat.
If you want,
I
if you
have
want to see the
family
prototype design, that's on my project page, which will be linked in the show notes
Yeah. Oh man,
for the coat of arms.
didn't realize. I knew it was gonna be expensive. I didn't realize it was gonna be quite such a pretty penny.
So that's why that hasn't happened yet.
That's fair.
But this blanket is super simple. It's a free pattern by
Somebody.
I want to say Live Red.
Ooh, possible.
I have it right here. Russell. Oh gosh, this
You printed it.
it printed so terribly. Red Heart.
Oh, it's
Apparently, I was completely out of red ink, so the Red Heart is like bright yellow. His Red Heart. It's a Red Heart pattern. It's a classic corner to corner throw.
Sure.
Anyway, I started this over a year ago, just before my surgery. So I made absolutely fantastic notes about what colors I was using, how wide the stripes were, how many repeats of every color. Like, I have absolutely fantastic notes about what I'm doing, where I'm going with this pattern on here, because I knew I was going to be working on it while I was drugged out of my mind. So I did work on, like, aside from the row I'm working on right now, like, all of this I did while I was drugged out of my mind on T3s.
I think I took like 3 or 4 days off after my surgery and then went back to making granny squares.
Yeah, like, literally, when I was awake enough to be bored, I was working on this in the hospital. So, it's super simple. And it's making a very lovely blanket, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I really like the way that's turning out. My brain's like, oh, maybe
Oh yeah,
I should
Heartland,
go
what is it made out of? I think this is just acrylic.
acrylic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100% acrylic, and it's really nice and soft, and it's even got like a little bit of a fuzzy halo to it, so like it's
Super awesome.
nice. I always hold up something and I'm like, it's out of this fancy German sock yarn or this indie dyed yarn. Like, no guys, I do use acrylic.
You do. Well, it's just really, really good. It has its place, and they're so nice. A lot of them are so nice. Like, would you think this is 50% acrylic? Nope.
No, it's
Not
super
from the
nice.
feel, or the. Have you felt it? Or did I just show you the sparkly?
It feels really nice.
It feels really good.
So
Good stuff out there.
usually I'm making slightly smaller things, so I use my smaller amounts of yarn, which happens to be the indie dyed yarn because I have smaller amounts of it.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't use indie dyed yarn for a blanket because that's like insane.
Well, my brain's thinking, oh man, I should go buy some colors of worsted and do that for myself.
Yeah. Highly recommend this blanket. I'm really enjoying it.
Or just go crazy and buy the appropriate amount of yardage in like Karen cakes or something. And then just let it self-stripe.
Yeah,
That could also be really good.
that would make this even easier.
It really would though. I'm surprised you're not crocheting in your ends.
I
Is
think
there a border?
I think there might be a border. There is a border. That's why
Okay.
I'm not crocheting in my ends.
Okay. I was like, otherwise, you're crazy. Crochet in your ends, but if there's a
Yeah, no,
border,
there's a
that makes
border.
sense.
I'll crochet in my ends when I do the border.
Yeah, because it was
I thought about all this apparently like a year and a half ago when I was planning this project. I
Yeah.
did so well.
You did amazing.
So pro tip, plan
stuff.
your project and make notes like you're going to be drugged out of your mind and have no idea what you're doing. It's great.
Or, like most of us do, on our own, without requiring quite that much prompting. Jeez.
Plan your project like future you is going to be high.
Or, assume that your memory's not perfect and make notes.
You know what? I have a way too high opinion of my own memory.
A lot of, that's not inaccurate.
You're not supposed to agree that quickly.
You double booked yourself on your own birthday weekend.
I know. It's because I didn't write it down.
And I know
If I
you
write
well
it down,
enough.
I'll remember it, but
I know you well enough that if you've not written it down or made a note on the phone, I know you don't remember. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
Alright, well that is all of my projects.
Alright, so last thing I've been working on that I've done the most progress on, because I've had to rip it out a couple of times and put it back together a couple of times, is my pattern. So I'm just about at the end now. It's been out for testers for a bit. They haven't been working on the decreases because I was working out the decreases. But here is the Northern Plains shawl. It is asymmetrical, so you can notice it's getting tiny.
You have so many ends.
Oh yeah, tons of ends.
Oh.
So I did a series of increases with a really lovely stitch pattern. And then I initially didn't know how to count and went to go do the large shawl design on the small amount of shawl yarn. Oops, ripped that back. Had help picking up the stitches. Knit the stripe pattern the way I'd initially intended it, didn't like it. Did my own lifeline, ripped it back. Carried the initial pattern piece farther down into here, which now you can see does a repeat before we get into the stripes.
Okay.
Now I'm into the striping section, and I like this a lot better. Because you always end up, this is going to be awkward because I'm actually still attached to yarn balls.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and lots of ends because I've also trimmed and stuff. And not blocked, so like this looks amazing. But you always end up rotating and tucking one end underneath when you tuck it up.
Yeah.
So now you get more of the pattern and your stripes can just stick out the bottom.
That's so smart.
So the second half of the shawl can be a lot easier to create, still look good, and doesn't use quite as much brain up. So it lets me keep it at a good advanced beginner stage because you're doing yarn overs and you're doing knitting two togethers and stuff. So theoretically, I get it done shortly before Red has my head because she wants the next pattern that I have sketched out that I have not even started yet. So of course she wants to get it done before I even cast it on.
Well, yeah.
Like she does. And I gotta block it out because I've obviously got like little dips and stuff where things start and end because I need to stretch it and block it out. Because you got the widest point on the shawl, but I haven't blocked out my point, so my one end, which should be flat, it's a little curvy
Yeah, well.
until we get it blocked, but
Lots of colors.
the colors are great and I like the length of the asymmetrical shawl, which is what I wanted. Because I didn't want a cowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not actually a personal fan of cowls.
Me neither.
I find they're either too small or too tall. They never fold over twice and drape quite right on my body proportions. Like they never look quite right. So I wanted something bigger than a shawlette, which is too small. But not quite a shawl that I could tuck into my coats. And this is exactly what I want because it'll have that front layer which will lay nice on top and then it curls around enough that you can tuck the bottom layer underneath and get that protective heat layer where you want it to be.
Nice.
So I am happy. So theoretically this comes out at some point soon before I am murdered in my sleep because Red knows where I live. She really wants the next pattern, you guys. Oopsies.
I'm trying to.
My hope is to give it to her once she's gone back to nursing school so that maybe I have a smidge bit of open window time before she's on my butt to get it out. You have to remember, she asked for this pattern before I was done test knitting my own sample, and has had her finished for months, has now edited the pattern and sent, she really wants me to get this out to you guys. She gets to things a lot more efficiently than I do.
A bit more mono project.
No, she's just avoiding studying, so.
Also that, procrastination is, yeah. You procrastinate on your knitting with other knitting. She's procrastinating on studying with knitting.
She's also procrastinating making her husband's socks with other knitting, so like I know where
Okay,
it's coming
yeah.
from. I just don't do knitting that way, so I'm not quite sure how that works.
If anybody's wondering what I keep leaning over and fiddling with, it's because I'm trying to keep my yarn from going everywhere. And this is keeping it from going everywhere, but then it's getting tangled around this spinny yarn spindle doodad from Natural Knot Wood Designs.
Yep.
Just in case anybody was wondering what the heck I'm doing leaning out of frame all the time.
So I've got one drop stitch with a stitch marker I picked up. But as you can tell, am I right side out this time or am I backwards?
I think you're backwards.
I'm using 2 skeins of yarn for the small sized shawl in mid knit cravings colorways. The gray variegated is the geode. It has stellina in it, so there's a sparkle. Sparkly. And then the blue is their colorway beach glass in their fingering weight.
So pretty.
Looks
Love
really
that
good.
blue.
It shows the stitch pattern amazingly well. So theoretically, I'm done soon and I can get that pattern published and get updated copies to all the people who've been so kindly helping me work through this test net. Oopsies.
So now you know how to design a pattern. You're gonna do like 12 more, right?
This has been a heck of a learning curve. Round 2 will be a lot smoother. This first go around, oh, it's rough. I knew it was going to be rough. Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, well, so is learning anything new. The first thing is horrible. The second thing is
It's
way better.
Yeah.
And by the third thing, you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's roughly how it goes. I just have to remember that the moment I give Red a pattern, I'm on a clock.
Yes.
Like, I gotta get it done because she's hot on my heels.
Yeah, if you want things edited like a year from now, you can give them to me, and then you'll get it like a year from now.
Yeah, gotta remember that.
Yeah,
Gotta remember
if you want
that.
more time, get me to do it.
Yep. Don't give it to the one who's like, let's go. Ugh.
I'm gonna go to the yarn store right now.
Oh no. I think she's already picked out her yarn for the next one because I've talked to her about it because she's wanted to know about what it is. So I think she's just literally waiting for me to send her the chart because she already knows what she wants to knit out of.
Actually, I kind of want to knit your shawl too, so you should hurry up and. No, I won't get to it for ages. I have my entire year of knitting planned out
Super
already.
safe to give it to you.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
I'll like think about it and like ponder it and.
Eyeball it and keep an eye out for it. Like, I'll make sure you have the patterns before the fiber festivals in the fall so you can buy yarn.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
That's about all I need.
Perfect. Jeez. I actually work for a living. This is not my full-time job.
Well, it is now.
One day, maybe. Not at the moment. That's it for me for projects. That's all I've been working on. Because I've technically re-knit the second half of that shawl almost twice now in the last 2 weeks, which is where the bulk of my knitting time is gone. So I really do need to finish that and call it done. And then other than that, it's been casting on this bad boy. Ma Shrug again. I'd like to be split for my sleeves here soon for the shrug again, so we'll see how that goes.
Alright, well that's everything we're working on then.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to yarn on the go.
I successfully went to many places and did all the knitting. How'd you do?
I went to Knit Club.
That counts. I get to count Knit Club this time too because it wasn't at my house.
I didn't even have craft club this week. I was crafting a speech during craft club because I went, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be giving a speech at Toastmasters in 2 hours.
Don't you bullet journal so you can keep track of these things?
The week got away from me.
Okay. Well,
I knew I needed to do it, and it was actually okay because it's the speech project where you're basically redoing your last speech but incorporating the feedback.
Oh, nice.
So I already had a speech, I just had to polish it.
That's not too bad then.
Yeah. It went over really well actually, everybody liked it. So
Good. Wonderful.
despite the fact that I crafted it 2 hours before I gave it, it went off really, really well. Woo, last minute speeches!
Guidelines are the mother of inspiration.
Yes, in fact.
In fact. Goodness gracious.
Yes, but you went places with your knitting. Where did you go with your knitting? I did not knit at
It was my
Toastmasters.
birthday week. You guys don't understand. It seems so over the top decadent when people are like, it takes you a week? It takes me a week to see everybody, to sit down and have a lunch or coffee or a tea or a dinner with my close friends. There's only about, I'd say about 30 or so. So 30 or 40 or so. everybody else is more of an acquaintance. If I get the chance, great. If not, I don't worry about it. But I have friends who are divorced, and it was a bad divorce, so like, those have to be separate events. I have friends who have extreme social anxiety issues. They have to be one-on-one. I've got friends with weird schedules. I'm friends with police officers. They work like 10, 12-hour shifts at any sort of time of the day or night. So their schedule could change. It depends on what their rotation is. And same with like people who work in the healthcare industry or people who are teachers. So I end up spending like the week before my birthday, through my birthday, usually to a couple of days after, just trying to fit everybody in around work. Because I work. I have to do my job. So I have been out for too many things. And I thought I had tomorrow off and I could sleep and not have to go out. But no, I'm going out for a birthday thing tomorrow too. So
Why do you think you get a break from
that plan?
You don't get a break from birthday things.
Nope. As far as I can tell, it's just going to start to balloon, so it's a whole month, and then it's just going to be
Yeah.
all year long for me. That's how that's going to work. I got family things, and it's a lot, and that's fine. I love it. I don't mind making the accommodations, but it means I started Tuesday with Knit Nosh, and that's just a normal knitting thing. It happens every other week down and across the board here in the city of Winnipeg, and I love going. It's from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoons, and it is delightful. Red was free, so we made a whole day of it. She wrote her last exam, picked me up. We went to, I'd never been to any of the marijuana stores, because it's legal in Canada now, so I wanted to go. So she took me, so we could explore it, and I could see what it looked like on the inside. That was a delightful trip. Then we went and knitted, because, we're cool.
Yeah. Well, cannabis and knitting goes hand in hand.
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So I did that, and then home, and that was fine. But between Monday to today, I have had at least one meal a day out.
It's a lot of birthdaying.
That's a lot of birthdaying. So, and my knitting went with me everywhere. Most of the time I was either working on my shrug again or on my shawl, because all the ripping out or knitting. But, so, the shawl went with me all over the place this week and did a lot of work on it. And then I worked on the shrug again at Knit Nosh, and I didn't actually do any work on my winter honey this weekend, though I really wanted to, so I'm hoping maybe tonight I'll do some. You have to understand, I haven't even had a birthday dinner yet with the people I live with, which is my sister and my brother-in-law. Haven't even managed that yet. We may or may not do that tonight. We haven't decided yet. Tuesday I'm back here for D&D, so it's like, I might be able to have a whole day at home, and I work from home, so I work for myself. I might have my first full day home on Wednesday.
Since Tuesday?
Monday.
So a week and a half.
Yeah. My cat is going to just mutiny. She's not used to me being out for quite so many hours, so many days in a row. Just totally fair. I think I've earned a little bit of retribution at this, or payback at this point. So meals are never missed. She never goes hungry. She always has water. People go downstairs and check on her because she likes to lock herself in the bathroom. Don't even know how she manages that. And that's fine. It's not a problem.
At least the bathroom is where the litter box is, so you don't come home to extra surprises.
I really don't. Sometimes I come home to a mad cat. Otherwise, it's fine. So that's fine. But I am very much looking forward to Wednesday, where all I have is 3 blog posts to put up. Like, it's just like, I just have home computer work to do on Wednesday. You're really good. You have no idea how I want to go. Can I call in for D&D? I just don't want to leave my house.
I would totally understand.
I should be okay. I really should make the effort to come out because I'm in the city and we're able to get me home easily afterwards. So I really should come out in person. So there's that. But yeah, Knit Nosh on Tuesday, and then I had lunch on Wednesday, coffee on Wednesday. Thursday I had a coffee dinner, then it was Critical Role. Friday keeps going, you guys. All the knitting. I went everywhere. I did all the knitting. All the knitting. All of it. Done.
I thought of a way to tie my Toastmaster speech to knitting.
Was it about knitting?
It actually was. It was about, so the speech project was about...
I love how your brain works. It didn't occur to you while you were talking about your Toastmaster speech, your brain didn't
It-
go, it was about knitting.
It occurred to me about 10 seconds after you started talking and I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay, sure.
So the speech project is about giving and receiving feedback.
Okay.
So I did my speech about receiving negative feedback on the podcast.
We don't really receive a lot of negative feedback. on
No,
the
but
podcast.
there's been a couple, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm super, or at least was super sensitive to this stuff. Like, if it's not a 100% we love you comment, then I was like, oh no, they hate us. And Jocelyn was like, whatever. So I got over it. But basically, the speech was about,
I
oh,
like
they
how-
hate us, and then you were unfazed, and then it was about, so the speech was about me getting over it.
I love how it's like, whatever, is me going, I know we can't please everybody, we're not for everybody, and if you enjoy us, that's great, that's wonderful, if you don't have to watch, we're not,
You're not stuck here.
we're not
you
making
can go
you-
somewhere else. There's a lot of other
It's
knitting stuff to watch.
Super okay, I'm not
If we're not your
offended.
people, that's cool.
That's fine, there's over 7 billion humans, we're all not going to like each other. We're different people. That's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, so there's a speech about that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I tend to like if it's an honest criticism about something that's kind of just out there and we didn't notice it, absolutely. But
Yeah, no.
I've had
We welcome feedback.
oh yeah, absolutely. I've had people say the daftest comments to me and criticisms that are just so inane that over the years I've just been like, I don't understand, so I'm just gonna let it go because I don't get it. I had one lady who thought I was a delightful person. I've worked retail for over a decade. Great, loved customer service, loved me, came in and out of the store several times. Then she realized I had a tattoo.
And then that was not okay.
That was not okay. I'd always had the tattoo, you guys. It's not like I magically got the tattoo. It had always been there. Then it was talking to my manager. Was I appropriate for the store I was working in? Was she aware of what I had graffitied my own body with? My manager was like, didn't have the heart to tell her I had more tattoos than you do. I'm like, no, that's fine, it's good. Yeah, I've had people who've been like, you have amazing customer service. Could you change the sound of your voice? No.
Wool gathering.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You sure?
maybe.
We reached that far?
No. I
No,
don't know.
not even close?
I have no idea.
No idea what's going
I
on.
don't know what's going on anymore.
Okay.
I'm just in words.
How are you gonna turn
mouth.
older
I'll-
tomorrow? You're not even in your 30s. Like,
Yeah, and? What do you want?
you're not supposed to be a hot mess till you're older, dear.
No, see, I think I'm having the early 20s hotness.
Hotness?
What am I doing with my life? But I'm just doing that like now in my
You're
late
having,
20s.
you're having this so-called mythical quarter-life crisis.
No, not even. It's not even a crisis. It's just like I'm figuring out
What?
life, but like way later than you're supposed to.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Wool gathering. I forgot what it was that we were putting on the wool gathering together with the wool.
We gathered wool.
We actually got presents, which I was surprised. I don't ask for them anymore, so I was shocked that I got gifts. Super appreciative, because did you see we get Enchanted Wool Grove gifts? So we got alpaca.
Yeah.
Hello.
Shall we show that off?
Oh, I guess we can. So one of our Knit Club girlfriends got us alpaca yarn, which she did not have to do. Though, as she phrased it, she has a dealer. She actually knows the lady who runs Enchanted Grove.
Yes, they were super nice. They let us keep our backpacks and junk at their
Oh,
booth.
yeah, at the Manitoba
At the
Fiber
Fiber
Festival.
Festival.
Yeah, I think they're a wonderful.
Super appreciated.
So we got some gorgeous skeins of yarn.
Do we get the same base?
I have no idea. I have not even looked. I'm just
Uh,
admiring my colors.
Yes.
Okay.
We both got one-of-a-kind colorways of sock yarn, so it's 80% alpaca, that's Manitoban alpaca, 15% nylon, and 5% bamboo.
It's super light, it's squishy, it's fuzzy, and mine comes in a variation shades of yellow, orange, and red. Which is so me.
Mine is in various shades of, I'm going to say raspberry. Ooh, vegetation. See, it's so natural, it still has some vegetation.
It still has nature on it.
It does. I love it. It is my colors.
Oh, did she name her colorways?
These ones are just one of a kind.
Ones of kinds? Okay, excellent.
So this is approximately 496 yards or 112 grams of sock yarn.
That is an impressive skein. You would make amazing socks. They'd be so cheerful. So cheerful. Anyway, you were raspberry and
I'm very shades of raspberry. Like
yeah.
light and dark raspberry.
Oh, so good. They look so good. So super huge thank yous, because you can always buy a present for a knitter. Has to be one of the easiest people on the planet to buy for. It's called yarn. It's not hard to find, and we're always appreciative of it. I did get a couple of other things.
As did I.
Diana's not getting her present from me till I've gone to Saskatoon. She is aware it's coming late because I'm buying her Midnight Craving yarn while I'm out in Saskatoon. So she's okay waiting till I get out there and I can squish all the yarn in person and then pick something. Well, you get other things.
I did.
Is that unwrapped? Wrapped? I don't understand.
Unwrapped. The parents-in-law came over for a visit yesterday.
Right.
So I got a book about how to crochet cactuses. Cacti. Oh, that's so shiny.
I can't help you with that.
I will link this book in the show notes because it's super glossy and probably totally blown out on the camera.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Anyway, it's just a little booklet of how to crochet various little cacti, either in pots or, okay, that's also in a pot, but there's like coasters and like covers and table runners, and it's
I feel like
so cute.
I feel like you need to make me some crocheted cacti in pots.
I think everybody needs more crochet cacti in pots.
Yep, I agree.
My team lead at work has a little cactus that his wife made for him in a little pot, and it's just been on his desk, and it's so cute. And I think I need to make some.
You think you need to make some?
The other thing that I got from said mother-in-law is a kit to make Sue the Ewe, who is a sheep-shaped pillow with a shawl. So this is from a yarn store in Kenora that I don't remember what the name of it was. It's the yarn store in Kenora.
It's the yarn store in Kenora.
But it's this whole kit.
You're gonna aim for a link for the yarn store
I'm gonna,
in
yeah,
Kenora?
I'll link it. Because I cannot remember the name right now.
I've never been, so I don't know. That is an adorable little sheep pillow thing.
Well, I've got a whole kit for it, so I guess I'm making a sheep pillow.
In 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a kit of Peyton's Classic Wool
Peyton's is really good.
in DK Superwash,
Yeah.
and one self-striping, variegated.
For the shawl, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be super cute. I got stitch markers. Oh, they're so cute.
Those are really pretty stitch markers.
They're little beads with little flowers.
Yeah.
They're really cute.
Yeah. The best part was I got this at sushi dinner, and Mr. B was standing behind me eating my last of my sushi rolls that I couldn't eat. And I was sitting beside my cousin, and all of a sudden I had someone sticking their hand out my shirt. And it wasn't going to be my ex-boyfriend, and it wasn't going to be my cousin, so I had no idea what was going on. So in typical me fashion, I just put my hand in front and I went, "Oh, what am I getting?" And I didn't even bother to look at who was giving me stuff. And I looked up, it was Steve from Big Club. I was like, well, you know, that's one way to get my attention. Just stick your hand down the front of my shirt. I wasn't bad, it was just that she put them right here, and I was just like, hello, like, what's going on? And I thought I was terribly confused, but they are very, very pretty little stitch markers, and I'm very excited to put them in a project.
We should Instagram our.
I will try to remember to take a
Yarn
photo.
haul.
Try to take a photo before I leave here today, if I can. In addition to the now tradition of a bag of cat food for my birthday, it's a
love
really
that.
freaking practical gift. I can super get behind it. I'm so okay with this. It is my cat's favorite cat food. So this is not like it's a hardship for me. Red and her husband also got me a skein of yarn.
It's
from
pretty.
Wild something? No.
No, Manjusha. I can't read that upside down. Manjusha Farm.
It's
In
this-
Lorette.
Yeah, it's the same lady who gave us a couple of skeins for giveaway prizes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Great.
I
I
got
don't
this.
just have such a block about that name because I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong.
I'm positive I'm not saying it right either. But this is, I don't know what colorway would you say this goes from.
Oh, like a.
It's definitely.
like a blue purple up to a lilac purple.
I almost want, yeah, because it definitely goes.
Because there's definitely some blue in here, but then like it's primarily lilac, but then it goes a little more pink.
I want to say eggplant.
Lavender. Eggplant and lavender. Sure, eggplant
That
and lavender.
Yeah, we're going with eggplant and lavender on this one. I don't even know if it has a name. That's just why I'm calling it.
There's no color name.
Nope. Great. So beautiful, fat skein. So I'm really happy. I have some new stash. Because you all know how I feel about stash. There needs to be more in my life.
Always.
Always. So there's that, and that was what we did for birthday presents and stuff, which I really didn't expect to be birthday presents.
No,
I
me
like
neither.
buying them and giving them to people. I feel like that's a really good idea. So I'm not really worried about it. You can tell I'm super stressed. It's like, hers is coming from Saskatoon, and if she gets anywhere near Amsterdam, my birthday present darn well better be Amsterdam yarn. Better be European yarn.
I will bring you back yarn.
Yeah, that's right, you will.
Figure out where exactly I'm going, and there will be yarn.
There will be yarn
Coming
somewhere
back
in
from
Europe.
wherever.
Somewhere in Europe, I will be receiving yarn from.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "Are you getting your birthday present late from Diana as well?" I'm like, "Yep." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, hers is currently in Saskatoon. We haven't picked it out yet." Mom's like, "That's fair. I've picked it out the last couple of times, so this makes sense in my mind." I'm like, "Yeah, she hasn't gone to Europe yet." Mom's like, "You bet she's bringing home European yarn for you." I'm like, "No, I told her."
Yeah.
That's what I want. I'll wait. I want European yarn.
It'll
It'd
come.
be
It'll
so
come.
cool. So cool. That's it. I don't know. My grandmother sent a check. Might have to buy some yarn from Knitable Fluxury Yarns.
Ooh.
They've got some gorgeous color. One doesn't very have gorgeous colorways. The gorgeous colorways on the go right now. I'm just like, drool.
I just like scroll through this Instagram like I'm
Oh,
just gonna like all of these
just-
on behalf of the podcast.
just-
Jocelyn won't mind.
Stunning. No, not even remotely. Stunning. There's so many pretty things out right now, but then I'm torn because the Woolen Homestead just did an update on Friday. And I was showing you guys some of their yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some gorgeous colorways. I'm like, oh crud. Now I don't know what to spend the money on.
Just send us yarn. We'll make nests. It'll be great.
I think I want to do their favorite color is October, because it's another sort of fall on the ball kind of idea, and it's just so freaking pretty. Ugh, so Jocelyn. It's great. But we'll wait and see. They're gonna keep dying. It's just they just literally bought a new house, so on top of like full-time jobs, I'm not sure when the next update will be, which is fair.
Yeah.
You just got a house. It's a lot to get a new house, renovate, sell the old house, move houses and stock, and have jobs and have dogs and like that's a pretty big thing. I think you're allowed to take a couple of months and just have that rule your life for a while.
Yep.
That
Yep.
makes sense. That makes sense. Like 3 years from now, it won't make any sense. But right now, totally makes sense. I remember what it was like the first time I bought a house and did my renovations. It was a lot of stuff.
Just moving is a heck of a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure on. If it's just because I've moved so much, I'm efficient at it now.
I think that might be it.
I
'Cause
think that's where
moving into this apartment was the first time that I'd moved since I was like 4, and my parents basically moved, and I was basically a bit of furniture to move with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, and I think it's because I've lived in so many houses that I'm like, moving should take you about a week to pack up your house, and I'm talking, like, I've got what? You figure 700-800 square feet out on right now?
I have no idea. I'm crap at estimating distances or numbers.
I have I'm not gonna say it's a small, it'd be a medium size. I have a good sized 1-bedroom apartment. I could have that packed up, labeled, boxed, and ready to move in less than 72 hours. And Diana knows how much stuff I own, so she knows that that's a lot of stuff.
It would be easier now that you've like reorganized all your books.
The books are just heavy. It's not like it takes me
Books are
any
the
longer.
worst to move.
I
So
think,
you want to put them all in one box because they're all the same thing, but then you can't move the box because it's so heavy.
yeah, that's a bad idea. Yeah, for the amount of books I got rid of, and I got rid of over 100 books, it's really only an extra 40 minutes of packing. It's an extra.
Yeah.
But on the tail end, when I moved into the apartment that I'm in now, it took me less than 3 days to unpack and have all the boxes gone.
Wow. Yeah, moving into this apartment was effectively my first move ever, so, you know, learning experience.
Yes. No, I've lived in over 20 different houses, apartments, and across two provinces and a territory in my lifetime, so.
I've lived in 3, and I don't really remember the first one, so.
I had to box up my life and mail it to myself on the Greyhound bus.
Oof. I've never had to do that.
It's a thing. So I don't, the packing part, the unpacking I don't get. Renovating I get because that is really out of your control if you have to hire someone to help you do it. And nothing goes smoothly. There's
Ever.
no part of renovating that is smooth, no matter what they tell you. That's not how it works. Something will go sideways.
Something will break, something will be not the way you thought
It's supposed to
it
be,
was,
something will have to be brought up
will
to
be
code, yeah.
backordered.
Yeah, it's just, that's how it works. So like the renovating could take long, like that makes sense to me.
Anyway,
I'm not throwing judgment on any people who have boxes in their house and moved in 4 or 5 years ago. It's not you. It's just how I move. You guys
she's just
move
super
however you
efficient
want.
at it. Honestly, we've still got boxes. We've been here 3 years.
Well, my mom had to move 2 teenagers, essentially, from Iqaluit, which is the capital city of one of the Northern Territory of Nunavut here in Canada, to Brandon, Manitoba in the middle of the school year,
Oh, that sounds like a huge mess.
while transferring her jobs, because she works for the government of Canada. Because my dad was already working down here, so my dad found a house in Brandon. The first of the
sounds-
houses in Brandon, which they rented till they found the one they really wanted. And then, yeah, we had to be moved in the middle of the school year, so it was like we packed up 1 week, flew down, and then the next week I was in school, in a new school district. I can't even imagine what kind of mess that was. But we still were fully unpacked as a family of 4 with a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old in less than a week.
Wow.
My mom doesn't tolerate boxes.
Apparently not. Wow.
She is not okay
She
with
runs
it.
a tight ship.
She does. Like, everyone's like, who's in charge? We're like, Mom.
No question.
No joke. My mom shows up and she decides what it is we're re-cleaning because she's decided it's not. I'm in my mid-30s. Guys, Danny can tell you I keep a clean house. It's not perfect, but it's clean. Nope. Something has to be torn apart and redone. That's fine. Whatever.
Of course.
That's fine. That's a mom's prerogative.
Yep.
I don't generally hear my mom come out of my mouth though when I'm lecturing myself on not doing things.
It's happening more and more, and she warned me that it would happen too, and
All of us get
I
warned.
hate it so much. Not that I'm like overly upset about being my mom, except that I don't want to be my mom, I want to be me.
It's just frightening when your mother comes out of your mouth, isn't it?
I don't like it. I hear it happen when I'm talking to my 6-year-old nephew sometimes.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh,
That
just
was
gonna
your
go
mom.
cry in a corner now.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And there's the world like rotates around me and we do like a crazy what's the
CG
camera
effect?
tech? No, not even. There's like a camera lens. I think it's called a tilt zoom or something.
Sure.
I don't know. There's some kind of crazy zoom effect where like when the character notices something and they like zoom in slightly on the character, but the background like whooshes around them.
The aha moment.
Yeah. It's that moment where like my entire world perspective shifts and readjusts in about a second and a half, and I'm just left feeling slightly nauseous.
God, you live in a dramatic world.
Yes.
The first time I opened my mouth and my mother came out, I was lecturing somebody. My mom doesn't do people. She's really good at just being insulting and blunt. I love my mother to bits. Kind, not her go-to status. She assures me I am a shape. Rectangle is a shape. Thanks, Mom. Makes me feel great about myself. She's not wrong.
Honest. She's very honest.
Very honest. Which works great when you need an honest opinion. You can fully trust it. No word of a lie. Just not subtle. So that's fine. But yeah, no, I've never had that. It's just one day my mom's insults came out of my mouth. And I knew that was gonna happen, and we moved on. It was, I don't even remember when it happened. I just know it does from time to time. That's fine. Doesn't seem to bother me as much, apparently.
Life.
I like my mom. My mom has gumption and 5'4" bosses around men twice her size, and they don't even think about it. They just leap up and do as they are told. Like, I want that skill so much.
It's a good skill.
She doesn't have to raise her voice. She's the quietest spoken person in the whole family.
It's an impressive skill.
She's so good.
I think it
How
must
do
be a
you do
short
that?
person skill.
I don't know.
I feel like it is.
It might be.
Because apparently my grandmother also had this skill and she was also like 5'2", 5'4".
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from. Well, I mean, Tara can yell at me from here next Tuesday. I don't listen to her sometimes either, but. No, I think, yeah, that could be something we could say would be a thing. I don't know, anyway. Mom's in charge, that's all I know. What else do we have in our wool gathering?
We were going to talk about the cotton craft along.
Ooh, right, because we have a hashtag for it now.
Hashtag cotton. No,
Dude,
wait.
you've already forgotten.
We talked about this right before we started. Spring cotton CAL. I remembered. I got it right this time.
You did get it right.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
Oh gosh.
Just
So
look at me write that down.
we're doing a, I mean, God, I'm sorry guys. Should have had more caffeine today. We are doing a spring cotton make-along, and we're doing it in conjunction with, like, I really can't see where the camera is. I am literally just guessing unless I squint, you guys. I may honestly put on my sunglasses, so I can see where the camera is. So
It
I'm
is
looking
very
at
bright.
you
I'm
guys.
squinting a little bit.
Anyway, we're doing a spring cotton make-along, or craft-along, sorry, where it's whatever craft you like. The idea is to use cotton. So, cotton quilts, cotton clothing, cotton knitting, cotton linen blends, like we're fairly open for it. We're doing whatever really sort of garment or idea that you want. We're sort of excluding the smaller newborn baby small kid knits. We want to sort of balance it out so that if you're getting an entry for an adult sweater, somebody else isn't also getting an entry for an infant-sized sweater. That's where I go, okay, that's a little unfair, because somebody could knit 4 or 5 infant sweaters in the same time it takes to knit an adult small.
Mm-hmm.
So we sort of drew the line of it there, but we're working in conjunction with the podcast, The Corner of Knit and Tea. I've gotten that right twice in a row now. I'm very proud of myself.
The knitting is more important than the tea. That's how I remember.
You know, yeah, and I find them equally as important, so I get confused. She had an amazing tea she was talking about last week. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again because I think I want to order some of it. It sounded freaking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna run it from the spring equinox, which is March the 21st, till the spring equinox to summer solstice. Yeah, to summer solstice, which is June something.
20th?
I don't.
It's the 20th or 21st in March and June.
Yeah. So it's a 3-month knit along, crochet along,
Make along,
craft along. So you've got time to pick
Craft
up
a thing.
literally craft a thing, in cotton ideally.
Craft a cotton garment.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a garment or just anything?
Just we're really not super picky about it.
Okay.
Ideally a garment so you can wear it, so you can add to your collection.
I'm gonna make that skirt out of that cotton fabric that I bought in November.
Sure. Guys, it's been nearly 3 months and she hasn't finished a hat.
I got this.
Really just need to open up a thread on bets on Diana's finishing times. Just really need to. We're gonna.
So if I actually finish by the deadline, do I get the winnings?
I have no idea.
Because that might motivate me.
Man, some just you guys choose a charity we donated to, like some.
I'm good with that.
So the idea is to give you guys some advance notice since we are already sitting at the 10th of March. There's only 11 days till that starts to get you guys sort of thinking and looking and cruising. It's really just sort of celebrate the coming of spring and summer. It is something a lot of people get excited about. I am not one of them, but a lot of people get excited about spring and summertime. It's fun.
Just like not dealing with snow and ice.
I actually like snow, so I don't really consider it that big of a problem.
It's the ice though.
Yeah.
And the slush.
I hate
Nobody
slush.
likes slush.
I hate the slush, but the slush comes when it warms up. Slush doesn't happen till it warms up.
This is true.
So I associate slush with spring.
This is true. But also going outside and not having your face hurt.
No, I like that.
I hate that.
I like that.
I don't like when the air tries to hurt me.
Love it. It's great. Just me. I am aware of this. It's not a problem. I understand. I do not enjoy all aspects of winter. I just enjoy winter more than I enjoy summer. So, we're doing this to get along. It also gives me an excuse to pick up more things that are knit and cotton or done into cotton that I can make, which is great because I love working in cotton. We're pretty open about it. We're still sort of fine-tuning a lot of the rules and details. So probably the day of, so like the 21st, I'll make sure that there's a chatter thread and a finished thread posted, and I'll have all of the rules broken down and listed out for all of you guys. In our Ravelry thread, the corner of Knit and Tea will also have a FO and chatter thread, and then we are currently discussing whether we're going to draw prizes separately or do them in conjunction with each other. So there's still some stuff we're working on, which happens when you do a collaboration with another podcast, but I am super excited to see what everybody makes. We have a hashtag too, which we literally decided on just before we started recording.
Yep. I'm excited to make vicariously through all of your finished object posts.
Yeah, I know.
I'm getting
guys.
the look. I know I'm getting side-eye.
You're right. Yes, the internet is giving you shade at this point. The internet is giving you
You
shade.
know what? I can't see the internet, so it's fine.
I will give you shade on behalf of the internet.
You know what?
What?
Just I can't see you now. No shade.
No shade. I
No
refuse.
shade.
I refuse to accept
Hashtag no shade.
Hashtag no shade. Jeez. Oh, that's really the sort of the big thing we've got going on. Is that the only other knit along we're running this year? Oh no, I'm trying to help facilitate a few more. Diana's just in for a whirlwind, and I'm getting healthier, so it's just gonna get quicker for her, not slower. I don't know what she's gonna do.
I'll just explode.
Just
Not explode. I'm just gonna asplode.
Asplode?
Asplode.
What is that? Is
I
that
don't
a
know.
word?
No, it's not. But I'm gonna do it.
All right. Might be able to get a dictionary entry out of this one. Is that a noun? Is it a verb? To asplode.
Well, it's like exploding, but not quite.
Yep.
It's like that, but different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 It's like that description we got the other night at Crepes that just caused the entire table to laugh so hard that we all gave ourselves 6-packs.
I'm pretty sure the entire rest of the restaurant hated us.
Oh my!
Don't care.
We were that obnoxious little,
Oh,
weren't
we were. Absolutely.
Oh,
I don't
totally
care.
were. They're so fun because nothing says sushi dinner quite like crepes for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fine. It was tasty. Who cares? What else do we have? I'm not sure what else we've got in Wool Gathering. I think that's about it.
That's it for wool gathering.
Oh, good. We've babbled.
We babbled a lot.
Ooh, geez. Now we're what? Kniterature. I will
Kniterature.
eventually remember that.
Yeah.
You started a new book?
Did. I started You Are Not So Smart. Something about why you have so many Facebook friends, something or other, and 46 other ways you're deluding yourself.
Sure.
It's a book about logical fallacies and your own personal psychology of why you believe things that aren't true, why you see patterns that don't exist, and all that stuff. I've only just barely started it, but I'm really looking forward to it. I have it on Audible, so I'm looking forward to listening to it at all hours of the day and night while I do other things like chores that I haven't done in a while.
Okay.
So that's all I have to say about that right now, because yeah, I suspect, because it's a short book, I will have finished it by the next time we record.
Sure. The internet heard it here.
It's only 8 hours on Audible, and I listen to things usually at 50% faster speed, so.
When you can make it through the book Team of Rivals in 2 weeks, I will
Oh.
consider myself impressed.
How long is that one?
41 or 47 hours and 30 minutes?
That's big.
I've listened to it 3 times since I bought that book. It's a beefy book.
That is a beefy book. That's
Like when
gotta,
you pick it up, it's
that's gotta be like a 700-page book.
more. When I pick them up when I pick up the book at the bookstore, I'm like, you could damage someone if they broke into your house with this book.
Wow.
It's an anti-theft deterrent is what this thing is. Just gonna go boof, boof. There goes the book. Oh, amazing story. If you've
Okay.
not read Team of Rivals, it is
Team
an
of
amazing
Rivals.
story. It tells the story of the President Abraham Lincoln through his correspondences and the correspondences of the people who become members of his cabinet, who were the people he ran against as he was moving up the political ladder.
Interesting.
That's why it's called Team of Rivals. but it is, and I mean, they did a great job casting it with the voices and doing it different, but it's just so fascinating to watch that change from when he was younger, when he first got into politics, and it's just all through the correspondences and how everybody came to that point and how they felt at the beginning and the middle and the end of his presidency. So it's just
That actually sounds really cool.
really good read, you guys.
Oh, okay, I'm
Really
totally
good
adding that
read.
to the book
It is
club
a
list.
very good read.
I'm stealing that recommendation.
You go ahead. I've buried you in book recommendations.
Yes.
It's not a thing that I worry about. I have, however, recently just finished reading The Woo Woo, which I will not talk about because I do reviews for it for Canada Reads.
So when you release that, we'll
When
mention it
release
and
that-
stick that in the show notes.
We'll stick it in the show notes. I'll mention it. We'll pop it in the show notes then so you guys can find it because that's just easier for me because right now it's all in point form sitting at home for me to write a review on. I did finish listening to Kingdom of Ash, which is the last of the book in the Throne of Glass series. I forgot how much of a snotball 5-alarm that is. You're so attached to the characters, the high points, the low point, you're just crying the whole way through. Freaking amazing. So I love a series when it wraps up that well. Yeah. When you're so happy when they're happy that you're crying, and when you're so sad when they're sad that you're crying, and you
Just
just
gets you right in the feels.
get you right in the feels. That's what you want.
Alright, I really might have to read this series.
Oh, just heart-wrenching.
Okay.
Heart-wrenching. So good. Thoroughly enjoyed. I did just start listening to this morning The Dispatcher by John Scalzi. So that'll probably be done shortly. It's more than 8 hours, but I may honestly be done next week because I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. And I think the next one on my list to read for the Canada Goodreads, which if you don't know what that is, CBC puts on a 1 week long. Remember those hot air balloon debates you did in high school literature classes, like in your English classes, where you had a character in a story or you had a book and you had to defend because there was you were losing hot air in your hot air balloon, so you had to pitch somebody? It's a similar sort of idea. So they have Canadian celebrities or well-known Canadian people defending Canadian authored books from the previous year, and there's 5 on the short list, and from Monday to Friday, starting on the 25th of March, they will go head to head and debate why their book's the best book and why all Canadians should read it. And the one that's left standing at the end of the week is Canada's top read. They do this every year. It is a amazing way to get introduced to Canadian authors. If you want to dip your toe in and you have no idea where to start, the CBC Canada Reads is a great way to start. It also gives you a really good chance to kind of participate in a book club without participating in a book club, if that makes sense. Because you don't actually have to do any of the talking about it. But if you've read the books, when they're doing the debates, it causes you to think critically about the books you just read. So, new authors, new voices, new ways of showing things, and they've always been very good with their diversification on the novelists, like the authors that they bring forward, and the people that they have defending the books and stuff. So, I've read a whole bunch of wide-ranging stuff that I would never have picked up otherwise because of it. So every year I make a point of making sure I have read Canada Reads top 5 short list. So I'm on to Brother next. And yeah, I realize I've only got like a week and a half and I got 4 books to go. I can do it if I buckle down. I do read that fast.
That's impressive.
A lot of the books I read I can't talk about because they're timed reviews that I'm paid for. So I'm not actually allowed to till the books are published. And by that point, it's been like 2 or 3 months and I've forgotten. On to whatever I'm working on now. I don't remember. And then I run across the book and I'm like, did I read? Oh, I wrote a review for that. Totally read that. Hey, I liked it too. Sweet. It doesn't stick. I enjoy it in the moment and then it's gone and I'm on to the next thing.
Alright.
That's how that works for me. So I'm doing that and I will be doing the Adventure-a-thon here shortly. So I gotta round up my to be read or my TBR pile for that here. Because that's also at the end of the month.
Okay. Sorry, that was what was it full name? Adventure Read Along?
I think it's an adventure-thon. I will get you the thingy for it because
It sounded like a really cool way of doing
found
a
them on-
readathon.
I found them on Twitter and now I'm following them everywhere because I'm totally going to do it because they have a little map and it's a choose your own adventure reading marathon. So it only runs for 7 days, but everybody starts at the same point, but you got like 4 different endpoints you can end up at it depending on how you choose the themes of your books. So I'm going to go through and have a couple for each of my choices so I can just pick whatever I'm in the mood for when I get there. Super pumped.
It's only a week long, so I'm not even going to try to participate.
Well, I think last time I did 6 out of 7 books. Last readathon I did.
I got halfway through one short story.
Duly noted.
So, I
There's
like
a
it. I think
Pokemon themed one
I know.
where you can build your Pokedex.
I'm going to have to look at that one after.
Okay. You guys don't follow me on Twitter. It's all about books and visibility and accessibility access. That's pretty much my whole Twitter feed.
If you like random tech memes, that's me. And a bit of accessibility.
Yep.
Mostly
Yep.
random tech stuff.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, that leaves us with events. Doesn't it?
events, yeah. Our podcast anniversary is still going
Till the end of the month.
till the end of the month.
I
we haven't-
suppose now it's time for me to jump on the FO thread if you've not done anything with that recently.
Yeah, I've been really lax about replying to stuff on Ravelry. I do apologize. You know I'm the worst. Anyway, the podcast anniversary knit along. Knit Anything You Like by Cozy Up Knits, Cozy Up Designs. Shoot, what's their name on Ravelry? Cozy Up Designs.
I don't know. I find them as Cozy Up Knits, but I've been finding them for so long as the Stitch and Sisters, which is what they were before they became Cozy Up Knit. It actually shows up as the Stitch and Sisters for me still.
Anyway, they're properly linked in the show notes.
They are. They are a wonderful quartet of sisters who have a knitting podcast and design knitwear and live and do life in Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. I
They're
remember
like
where they
forward-
live because I used to live there.
They're like 4 more Jocelyn's. We met them in person at
They're
Knit City.
great. They're
it's,
wonderful.
It's like having 5 Jocelyn's. Like I just
course you
can't
can.
process.
Alright, don't process, just go along with the ride, it's fine.
Yeah, I just like hang on for dear life and try not to get trampled.
Oh, in the last podcast, one of Sarah's little ones was sick.
Oh,
So
no.
next week, all of the little ones will be sick.
Yeah.
That's how that
Yeah.
goes.
And then the parents.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh no, you guys. I feel so sorry for you.
You know it's coming.
Because you know what's going to happen next, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great. But yeah, no, I'm really happy that we picked them as a designer this year. And there's, what's the word I want to use? Coupon code
Yes.
that you guys can use till the end of March to save money off patterns. And they just released some nice patterns. Did you see their Creekside Garden shawl? Woo!
No, but I was just thinking, hey, I should maybe go buy more of their patterns because the coupon code is only good for a few more weeks.
Yes, you should, especially since it's Northern Knits KAL25 in
Mhm.
checkout.
Yep.
Which will be written out so you can copy and paste if you're worried about misspelling things. I really want to squint so I can see that camera. Woo!
I'll have to get like a bigger thing for the camera so you can see it. Giant arrow, look here.
And come over next time and there's construction paper everywhere because they're constructing paper to tape to the...
You know what? I kind of need an arrow too because I'm tempted to look at the little thing to the side to make sure we're in
Okay.
frame and like looking okay and like
Yeah.
watching us.
Rather
But
than watching
I
the
should be
camera
looking
lens.
at the lens. Yeah.
You wonder if I'm looking into spaces because I don't know where you guys are. I'm just sort of talking in your general direction and hoping it works.
I'm doing that bad podcaster thing of watching myself and not the lens.
Well, I can't see the lens or the video thingy, which is great because she sets it up and goes, "How do we look?" And I'm like, "Looks good to me."
And I don't always process the.
I
I
can't
don't always
see it.
process.
I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, as far as other upcoming events, on May the 4th, there is a little fiber festival happening in Lockport, which is just outside the city. It is a Little Britain
Yep, Little Britain
Fiber Festival.
Spring Fiber Festival.
Oh, I forgot the spring. It's actually happening at the Little Britain Church out in Lockport. So Diana may go if she's free on that day. I will be out in Saskatoon, so I will not be able to attend. But if you see her, ambush her. No, like, come up
I
and
mean,
say hi.
you can't
guys.
you can't ambush me. It's fine.
Just come up
I'll
and
just
say
be
hi
like
and say-
really confused, deer in the
So
headlights.
confused. It'd be great. Yeah, totally do that. On June the 9th, we get to go back to my hometown where I grew up for chunks of it. I was born in Brandon, Manitoba, and then I traveled and came back to Brandon, and then I traveled and I came back to Brandon, and now I've left Brandon.
No, you're just in the traveling state again.
I'm in the traveling state again. It's a vicious cycle. It's fine. But the Blue Hill Fiber Festival is happening at the Keystone Center in Brandon on June the 9th. So we are going to make a day trip of it.
Yeah.
We're going to go out there. We'll be together for that one. So if you see us there, absolutely come say hi. We love meeting you guys. It is delightful. and terribly confusing all at the same time.
It's so weird being recognized from the internet.
It's so weird. It's
It's really fun.
It's
Love
super
it.
cool.
It's just
So
really
good.
weird.
It's just really weird. It's fine.
Because you know so much about us, and we're like, hey, stranger,
What?
we're happy to meet you.
So excited. Well, there's some people we talk to all the time, and by we, I mean me.
Yeah.
I feel like I know them really well. Like I'm gonna, at some point we're gonna get off the plane and go visit them, and Diana's gonna be lost because there's gonna be like hours of conversation we've already had.
Yep.
Yep, that's
It's
how
cool,
Diana
it's cool.
rolls. It's fine. It's good. Other than that, we have Stash Dash, which will probably start sometime in May when Laura from the Knit Girls gets off school. She
I'll
is-
link to that when there's roles to link to.
Yep, yeah, she is a librarian, so when she's not at school, the Knit Girls run a summer-long
Finish all the things.
finish all the things, challenge yourself sort of knit-along adventure that I love to participate in. So I'm definitely doing that again this year because it is one of the squares on my knitting bingo challenge card.
Nice.
Super pumped about that.
There's
So,
Tour de Fleece.
Tour de
summer
Fleece
as
because I
well.
want to do more spinning. I want to get more consistent with it, so I want to do that again this summer, which don't require us to go anywhere because they're big internet things we can do at home.
Mhm.
And then in the fall we have the Manitoba Fiber Festival happening here in the city.
Yep.
I would love to give you the dates, but I didn't actually just look them up before we podcasted, so I don't remember.
Mid-September.
Super bad with dates, you guys.
I'm more concerned with dates when we're like a month out.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm gonna start to worry about. So those are the things we've got upcoming and going on. So I think that's it for us for the week.
That is it.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah.
Super big thank you to everybody who is a Patreon member. We are beyond stoked at the support. If you are not a member, super
Mind
quick,
blown.
there is a link somewhere. Diana will have put it somewhere.
It's in the show notes and the YouTube description box.
Yeah, doobly-doo down below.
Yeah.
Yeah. What it is it allows you to, if you are able to monetarily donate to creators that you like, which allows us to do more things and have better equipment for better audio, better visual, that sort of idea. So we use it that way. And once a month we hold a Google Knitting Hangout that you can join us at. And Diana sends you the link.
Yeah.
Because it is a private hangout. We don't keep it, we don't record it, we're not reposting it. You literally just, we sit down for a
And
couple
we're not
of
like
hours.
live streaming it either.
No,
we're
no.
like we're Google Hangouting
It's a
with
Google
you.
hangouting with you guys. And we sit down and we knit and we talk about your projects and we talk to you, which, hello.
Yeah, it's nice to be like knitting and not talking. It's kind of fun.
The bonus to it being a hangout, it means is that I can hear you talking, because I really can't do the chat reads very well.
That's the other reason we're not live streaming, because it would just be me on chat.
Yeah,
I would be
because
silently reading the chat the entire time.
I could answer the questions if they were verbalized to me, but I can't really read chat. Which, you know, it's a thing. It is what it is. So it's something we definitely have to keep in mind and work around. So we're doing that. We still have some stuff with Patreon I'm trying to iron out because they did some big format changes. So I'm sort of trying to figure that out. And I don't have a ton of leftover eyeball time at the end of my day. So I'm trying to sneak it in when I can. So if you have donated to us or you're already a Patreon member, yeah. If you haven't and you can't, that's fine. Like the video. Leave
Yep.
a comment down below. Share with your friends. It all helps, you guys. It all helps. So, that's it. I'm getting off my soapbox.
All right.
Let's take me home. I need to get pomegranate ginger ale.
Okay.
You can't do it without me starting, can you?
No, I actually have
You
no
have
idea how we started.
Yeah, not at all. It's
I'm-
104 episodes. How do you not know?
Because I know my part.
Your part's like 2 words.
I know. I don't know the rest of it.
I'll say until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you,
Don't forget to knit.
You are never allowed to do the outro.
I knew it had something to do about next week, but I couldn't think of the rest of it. I'm so conditioned to do my part that whenever I hear you say, I'm Jocelyn, it's like,
And
this
I'm
is-
Diana.
I have to like practically cover my mouth to not jump in with the podcast outro.
Might, for fun, let's see if I can do the outro when we sit down to do the intro. Just cause.
I'll probably fall for it.
I know. That's why I wanna.